and radio. Give it up for Eddie Trump.
Thank you so much for coming out. We greatly appreciate it. And thanks to Sequoia, our promoter, for telling everybody this is only the second time we've ever done this. No pressure or anything, Sequoia. Thank you. I was going to leave you waiting a little bit longer, but I didn't want to think you were at a Guns N' Roses concert. So. We waited for Axl Rose, I can tell you that. If you saw the interview we did with him that was in Miami late last year, a lot of people said, hey, how come you guys seemed a little bit out of it? You know, you guys didn't seem like, Eddie, your hair looked all fucked up. You know, you didn't look like you were on your game. What was up with that? We waited 16 fucking hours for the guy. And I'm not kidding you. We flew down there on a Saturday. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We get to the venue, you know, we got producers and stuff for the show. They're like used to working with regular shows. We're gonna get there at 2 o'clock. We're gonna set up at 4. Axl's gonna come at 6. We'll watch a little of the show when they go on at 8, and we'll go at home. I'm looking at him like, are you insane? And we're waiting. 8 o'clock, Axl walks into the venue, gives a little wave. I'm like, wow, this is cool. It's actually going to happen at a reasonable time. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. 15,000 people in Miami waiting for this guy to go on. We're like, yeah, we're going to get an interview. And then he goes on at midnight. He gets done playing at 3 a.m. and my producer's standing there saying, he's still going to come, and I want to blow his brains out. So he grabs me, because I knew Axl a little bit. I had some history with him, and we go down to the dressing room, and I'm thinking the guy is gone, partying on South Beach somewhere. And I walk down there, and I'm looking, and sure enough, there was a party going on. He was in the middle of it at 5 o'clock in the morning, backstage in the arena. But yeah, it's rock and roll all the way, and we finally got him, but that's why we were a little bit out of our element when we saw it. So, but listen, we appreciate you guys coming out. This is the second time we've ever done this. And our first show was last night in Seattle. That was a great crowd, and you guys are great as well. And yeah, it's kind of a big kind of experiment, because we always wanted to find a way to come out and connect with all the great audience that we have for that metal show. And we obviously can't shoot the show. We all live in New Jersey. We shoot the show in Los Angeles because that's where all the musicians live. So we come out, we do the shows, and then we go back home. We do 2 a day, so in like 5 days we're done, and then they just start rolling them out. But so many people say, hey, come to our city and do the show. We obviously can't do that. It's just a set. We have there's a lot that goes into it. But myself, Don, and Jim said, hey, why can't we get our asses out there, say hello to some people, tell some stories. Those guys are great comics, and have a party, have some fun, have some great bands coming up a little bit later on. Spellcaster and Witchburn will be rocking the house a little bit later on, so that'll be cool. The other thing I get a lot of people asking me about is, how did that metal show come about? What is the history? How do 3 dummies from New Jersey get on TV like that? We want to do that. How do we do it? And the truth of the matter is that I don't know how many of you guys know this, I actually worked at VH1 Classic for about 5 years as a host before that metal show. It was in a lot less homes than it is now. Back then it was in 10, now it's in 20 homes. But seriously, I did a ton of stuff back then. I used to host a program called Hangin' With. Did anybody ever see that? Thank you, the 3 people that watched all the hard work I put in. It means a lot to me. But no, it was a lot of fun, and back then I did all sorts of stuff. One day I was interviewing Carly Simon in Martha's Vineyard while she was strumming an acoustic guitar singing "You're So Vain to Me." No joke, wearing a nice blazer, and you would never recognize me. And then the next day I would go to England and interview Robert Plant. And then the next day I was doing a Thanksgiving dinner. I swear to you, this aired and it exists. A Thanksgiving dinner. At this table was me, Dee Snider, Debbie Gibson, Daryl McDaniels from Run DMC, and the disco queen, Gloria Gaynor. I Will Survive. That's a lot of applause for Gloria Gaynor on another song. I'm checking all your CD collections. But you know, you never know what the hell is going to happen when you do TV with such a mixed group of people. And for those of you that don't know, Gloria Gaynor is an African-American woman, and she's sitting right next to me, and there's this big turkey on the table, and we're all around this table. And one of the most awkward TV moments of my life, I'm sitting there, and the question that goes around the table is, what does Thanksgiving mean to you? And I used to work at a record store. I worked retail in a mall for years. And anybody that works retail knows that the day after Thanksgiving is a nightmare. You have to get there at like 6 in the morning. It's the busiest shopping day of the year. And somebody here in the audience just yelled out Black Friday. That's what the day is commonly called. So as it comes around to me and the discussion is, so Eddie, what do you think about Thanksgiving? I said, well, it always kind of bums me out because I worked retail for so many years, and the next day is a horror show. You know, you can't enjoy it. You know, and it's Black Friday. It's awful. And Gloria Gaynor drops her turkey and her fork and slams her glass down and just looks at me and goes, "And why is it called Black Friday?" And I immediately go into like Ralph Cramden on The Honeymooners, Chef of the Future. Oh, no. Because I don't know. I just know it's called Black Friday. It's on the title of every magazine and its sales ad of Black Friday sales. And she's grilling me and I'm like, well, because it's a bad day? Well, then why is it black? And I'm just digging myself deeper in the hole and I'm like, oh my God, the Queen of Disco is accusing me of being a racist on national TV.